Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Words, and today I want to show you my top 5 Bible layouts. There are all sorts of different ways that they lay out the scripture to make it comfortable for a reader, to make it easier for a preacher, or to make it easier for someone who just enjoys having a lot of text and a lot of information crammed into one space. So I'm going to start off with the honorable mention. This one didn't make my top 5, but it is definitely a fantastic layout. This is the large print Windsor from Trinitarian Bible Society. The reason I love it is because they use the whole page. There's not a lot of margin space. There's no references or anything like that. It's just a verse by verse layout of the King James, and you can see what you see is what you get. And all the way to the very end, you've just got one thing I do not like is I do not like that they put the books, they stack them on top of each other. I wish they would just kind of leave this blank, go to the next page. But again, you're getting a lot of large print. This is a 12-point font, and again features the entire King James. So now let's go to my top 5. Number 5 is probably going to surprise you. This is from Catholic Bible Press, and this is the Nob Ray Study Bible. And let's take a look at it. Here's why I love it. I love it because, number one, you have your text layout. This is in a reader's format, double column. There are no references. However, this is what makes this Bible really, really cool, is they take the references and the notes and they put them together in between the books. So you have the benefit of a large print, you have the benefit of a double column, you have the benefit of the full text without interruption where you can read, but you also have the benefit of your cross references and all of your study notes all in one Bible. And again, just a beautiful layout. It comes with a double column introduction, and then it moves into the scripture. I just think this is a fantastic layout. And then moving into one of the newer layouts, and that is the New King James wide margin large print. This thing is fantastic. Number one, it comes with really brief book introductions, and then it has a verse by verse layout, double column with wide margins and bottom references. Really nice. Those bottom references kind of keep everything out of the way. They don't make the columns kind of off center, which I'll show you in a different layout here in a minute. And it gives the text some space to breathe. I actually don't write in these little wide margins because I actually like room for the text to breathe. I also do like, even though this isn't a layout thing, I do like the red letter in this. So now let's move into number 3. Number 3, I just read this one. I love this layout. This is the Lockman New American Standard Bible 2020. And this isn't really featuring the translations. This is just more featuring the layout. I really do enjoy center columns. Here's the reason I like center columns. I like center columns because they are lined up next to the verse. It's easier to find the references. It's easier to go after the notes because the notes are separate from the references on the bottom. Whenever you put the references and the notes on the bottom, it's a little bit difficult to kind of find your notes and separate them from your references. Where here, your references are right in the middle, next to the verse, easy to find. Your notes are at the bottom. It is super easy to follow. Occasionally, let me see if I can find a situation where this happens. The verse will go right here. It'll L out kind of underneath. So it will kind of give you a corner reference feel here, but that doesn't happen that often. And it is nice because when there's a ton of references like the NASB has, you kind of get them in the corner like this. Number 2 is the New Revised Standard Version single column. The reason I love this layout, check it out. It has your reader's format, it has your poetic settings, it has your references on the side, your notes on the bottom. So this kind of gives you the feel of a double column when you look at it. It still kind of has that double column look. Let me take you to a narrative setting just because it's just so beautifully set up. It's line matched, 36 GSM paper, hardly any ghosting. This is just a fantastic layout. They also have this in the NASB in verse by verse format, and they also have an NIV. My number one may surprise a lot of people because it is not line matched. But my number one favorite layout in my current preaching Bible is the ESV verse by verse reference Bible. Now, the one downfall of this is it does have the corner references, and it kind of makes your columns a little cattywampus, like this one will stop here. Some people don't like that. It doesn't bother me too bad because I've learned how to overlook them. And I also like corner references because they are also separate from the notes. I think that's a big deal. The bottom references kind of being mixed in with the notes is very difficult for me to follow. So I really like this one. This is a cowhide. My current preaching Bible. I love verse by verse layouts because it's easy to find your verses, but I also love reader formats and paragraph formats because then it makes an easy, smooth reading experience. So for preaching, verse by verse is the way to go. I like double column because it fits more verses on the page. And then for single column reader's format, if you're just going to read, this is really a cool, amazing layout because your reading experience is not interrupted. It's just straight through. I just enjoy it. These are my favorite layouts. I love them, and I use them on a regular basis. Anyhow, there you have it. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.